Good. Thank you very much, Compare. He said to me, you're the challenge. With all your slurs and ums and ahs and all those sorts of things, well, it'll be a challenge for the rest of the people. But first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Naomi and what's your name? Matthias. We welcome you into our family, and our family is a very close family, and we really honestly welcome you into it. And I say to you that, all right, if you want to come home to our place at any time, your family wants to come home any time, there's 5 spare empty bedrooms, so there's no worries. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good over the few years that we've known you two, and we thank you very much for all the happiness that you've done for us and goodness that you've done for us, and God bless you for the future, because I know God will be with you from now to eternity. God bless you both.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Peter. And now from one father to the next, please welcome to the microphone the father of the bride, Max.
Is that enough? Have I said enough? Oh, thank you. Yes, I'd like... Wow, what a beautiful bride. In fact, if I knew you were that good, I'd charge you a dowry. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody here. Thank you for all coming here and sharing in this celebration. I'd like to make a special mention of those that have come from a further way away. Sydney is a fair way away, isn't it? Yeah, pretty much. My sister, Lynn, husband, Alan, and Helen is... And, back there. And then Nathan, his wife, Nina. Nathan, in case... Oh, do you want me to... Is that better? Could you hear me before? I can always do a rerun. Nathan's a good mate of mine. He went to school with my daughter. He's my riding buddy. We've done literally thousands of kilometres together on 2 wheels, riding around these hills from Barossa Valley, Murray Bridge, Victor Harbour. And in fact, if Nathan was with me on the last ride I did to Victor Harbour, I wouldn't have hit that. I meant that kangaroo wouldn't have taken me out. Would have probably got you, mate. So thank you. What can I say? Matt, you're a good bloke. And I thank you, Peter and Caroline. You've brought him up well. Good, respectful young man. I remember the time that he came to our place, and I went out in the yard, in the garden, and I thought, I've got to pick these tomatoes. And as I was walking out to pick the tomatoes, Matt followed me out. And I thought, what a really nice guy. I didn't even ask him. He was going to follow me out to help me pick these tomatoes. I go in the vegetable garden, he comes up to me and he says, I just want to ask you a question. I said, yeah, what is it, Matt? He says, I'm just asking for your daughter's hand in marriage. And I thought, how lovely this day and age. And I said, one condition, you take more than a hand. You take the rest of it. And so he accepted it. That was an agreement we made. So anyway, I turned around, started picking up these tomatoes, and Matt's gone. And I thought, was that just a G-up, or doesn't he like tomatoes? Anyway, he went back inside and left me. Thanks, Matt. Do you like tomatoes? Oh, good. Oh, okay. So look, guys, have a really great marriage together, which I'm sure you will. There's going to be situations in marriage that are going to be good. There's going to be some tough cases there. But just remember, any arguments you have, remember this moment, how much you love each other. And remember, a lot of arguments are mainly over opinions. And just remember, opinions are like anal passages. Everybody's got one, and a lot of them stink. And I'd like to say now, Naomi, my daughter, things that you may not know about my daughter. Oh, where can I start? When she was in the womb, we were convinced that she was a boy. Because the way that she carried in my wife's womb, she just carried on like it was a boy. She kept Carol up at night, so we thought obviously she's a boy because she's probably playing cards or having a drink or something in there, so getting all ready for the world. But we soon were put on the right track because after she was born, the surgeon told me, no, that's an umbilical cord. So I realised that we had a beautiful daughter. As she was growing up, she was only in primary school. We went to a place, some of you might know, Mini Cozzy. Surgeon Nora will remember it. We went with Danny Goog, and it's like a big function area. And it's big like this. Had a stage where people can sing, dance, do whatever they like. Naomi was only young primary school. She got up on that stage in front of everybody, over 100 people, and sang 66 books of God's holy word. She got them in tune and everyone in order. She got the whole place applauding her, some people standing up. So that was well done. Now, do you think you could do that again, or? Oh, okay then. Might be a different version. So as she was getting a little bit older, she's always loved animals, as you probably guessed. And we had a pet shop around near where we live. We lived at Aberfoyle Park. And there was a pet shop there. And what Naomi used to do is on the weekend, she used to go around the pet shop and adopt a pet. It could be a cat, a dog, a rabbit, didn't matter. She brought it home and we took it back on Monday because she loved pets. Eventually she got a pet and it was a cat and she called it Socks. She loved this cat, Socks. And it used to, obviously it stayed with us, it lived with us, and it used to cross the road, a busy street. And the way it crossed the road so that it didn't get run over, it used to go out down the drain and up the other side through the drain. One time when Naomi came home from school, there's Puddles. Socks. I'll just do the crying for Naomi in case she don't. And she was on the doorstep in a pretty bad way. Naomi came home, thought, what's going on? So she dropped her school bag, ran up to her, and Socks had been bitten by a snake. And she managed to get herself to the... I'm trying to be emotional. Okay. And Naomi picked up, no sooner had Naomi picked up this cat Sock that she loved so much, and it died in her arms. So that was sad, wasn't it? Anyway, I just hope that when Puddles finally goes, Matt, be prepared. Okay. So moving along, Naomi then, as she got a little bit older, she thought that she wanted to find out about the birds and the bees. Where do babies come from? So she asked me, she said, Dad, where do babies come from? So I did the right thing that anybody would do. So I said, okay, then sit down. So I thought I'd tell her where babies come from. So I sat down and looked at her in her eyes and said what any responsible father would do, ask your mother. So she went and asked her mother being a nurse, gave her everything about conception right through to delivery, including forceps, breech, birth, caesareans, at which case Naomi was sat there shocked, and in the end she said, I want to be a boy. So eventually she went, she's not transgender, okay? So eventually she went to Erdbray. And Erdbray was a good school, so she went there, and quite often I used to knock off and I used to swing by the school and pick her up because she had to catch a couple of buses, connecting buses to get to school. And this particular time I picked her up and she did not look good. I don't know what sort of day she had at school, wasn't a good one, I know that. And I said, what's going on, Naomi? You don't seem very happy. She says, today, animal husbandry, we had to go down to the piggery and watch pigs mate. And she said it was the most disgusting thing she'd seen. And the thing that turned her off, I think, was that curly tail, which she wasn't impressed with. But anyway, I'll try not to embarrass you anymore. So that's with Naomi. So guys, my last chance now, because she's leaving me, is leaving me, so I can't give her any more advice, but I'll just let you a little bit of advice. The one thing is that communication with marriage, communication is a big plus. And when you're with each other, just remember little words, little key words. They remind you of the big events. For argument's sake, what are those songs that they sing around Christmas time called? What, Christmas? That's it, Carol. How long have we been married? Well, that's why I asked her. So you can see those little key words help you remember the big events. So the other thing is, Matt, this is for you. Be careful, don't leave little subtle signs around the place, right? Little signs hoping that they pick up, because they won't, because it's a woman. I remember, this is going back a few years ago, I used to leave the top off the toothpaste. And Carol was always telling me, every time you clean your teeth, you keep the top off the toothpaste. So I thought at one stage there, no worries. So I thought just for a while there, I'll put the top back on the toothpaste. And after I cleaned my teeth, so I did that for about 2 weeks. I cleaned my teeth, put the top on the toothpaste, went to bed. When I went to bed one night, after about 2 weeks, Carol turned around and said to me, honey, why have you stopped cleaning your teeth? So that did not work, okay? And the other thing is, the most important thing in communication is body language. Read body language correctly. Because only a couple of months ago, I woke up in the morning with Carol, and Carol woke up and she was in a lot of distress. All right, she had sore neck, sore top of shoulders, and her top back, and it was giving her a lot of grief. She wasn't in a good way. So what I did, as a husband would do, as she sat up, I started massaging the back of her neck, the shoulders, everything for about 10 minutes. I got all the circulation back, all the tension out of her back, and she thought this is good. After about 10 minutes, she said to me, honey, can you do that thing that you haven't done for years? That thing that I really love, I really enjoy it, I really appreciate it if you do. Do you reckon you can do that? And I said, okay. So I pulled the sheet covers back, got out of bed, walked down the stairs, and unpacked the dishwasher. So, true. Okay, remember the main thing is with marriage, the best thing, keep your sense of humour, okay? Now, I'm going to do something now that a lot of you will probably think this is unusual. It's non-traditional, but I believe I want to do it as a father to my bride and to husband, okay? I'm going to ask God's blessing over them, okay, as a father. Thank you, Jesus. Lord, I just hold Naomi and Matt up to you now, and I just thank you for the blessing that you bless this marriage. Bless them when they come in. Bless them when they go out. Bless them in all the trials and situations of their married life. And I just pray, Lord, that they remember you, that when they're going through situations, that they bring you back into the situation with them and they share their time with you. Because, Lord, marriage is not to be endured, it's to be enjoyed. And, Lord, give them a fantastic, exciting life together forever. In Jesus' name, everybody said, amen. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Max. I asked Max if he had his speech on him. He goes, nah, I'm going to wing it. He did wing it. We went from the birds and the bees to the tomatoes. I think we pretty much covered everything. And the dishwasher, right? Fantastic. One more time, a round of applause for both fathers. It is now time to turn our attention towards the bridal party, and it is time to hear from the best man this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt to the microphone.
Thank you. I'm not as good as Max, so I did have to prepare something, so just excuse the notes as I do get them out. Yeah, we can ching the glasses for the newly married couple, can't we? A few. All right, so just to introduce myself, my name is Matt, and I am Matthias' brother-in-law, and I have been the honour of being alongside of both of them today as their best man. As long as I've known Matthias, the old 25, 30 years, a part of his obvious qualities of being a gentle, kind-hearted, and a loyal, family-orientated person, and also a little bit of a goofball. One thing that really stands out from the rest is that he only ever does things in his own time. Don't get me wrong, he will get around to doing whatever he says he will do, but it can take frustratingly longer than you think. And I'm sure Naomi's experienced this by now. For example, seasoning his Year 12 project, maybe the barbecue, Matthias. Is that still seasoned, unseasoned? It's seasoned now. Yeah, okay, so that was done for the Doe Show breakfast, I believe, and that only took 20 years. Well, you know, a lot of research can be done. Matthias is particular in that. Whether you're buying cars, homes, solar panel setups, jet skis, canoes, and the list goes on. And while it can frustrate the rest of us, we just want him to decide already. We know that he will not just settle for anything. It has to be right, and it has to be the best. He has a spreadsheet from everything, from power, water, and electricity consumption. I'm not kidding. He just showed me this the other week. It was a very impressive Excel, actually, which a company has the best to offer by even a cent margin. A shared shopping list that links up to whoever requires the said list when you have to tick off the appropriate not to mess up his OCD. And I'm sure he'd even have a spreadsheet how often he... Again, this also shows how committed and timely he is even with his day-to-day things. So what's this all got to do with a best man speech? Well, though, the process of Matthias and Naomi meeting, it was all about the timing. I'm sure he did his research on which dating site was best to use. First noting down the ones with the best success rates and choices. Bumble, Silver Singles, OkCupid, Tinder. Trust me, we tried to spy every time we walked past him when he was on his phone to see what he was doing, or even when he was back in the Barossa in stealth mode, walking up the stairs. But the old Alt-Tab or a click of the mouse button would be very quick for a new screen to appear. I know there would have been a checklist of the credentials she would have had to measure up to. Must have our understanding and the love of The Simpsons, enjoy a few drinks. Well, that's a big tick there, and I'll get back to that gin story a little bit later, won't we, Naomi? A love for family, put up with Mo's stirring, and I'm sure he had he had others on the list that none of us need to know about. Matthias meeting Naomi was a rather timely event. None of this would have happened if they didn't go onto the dating site, both in their lunch breaks in the same time at their own workplaces. Because of the distance between them and their homes, none of this would have connected due to their radius settings on their given dating site. But thankfully for them, they worked in close proximities and a match was made. Matthias kept his meeting with Naomi very quiet. Well, so he thought. Coming from a large family, you can never be too sure where anyone is at any one time. Well, just so happened that one day that their very first date happened to be a bit of a meet and a greet on the beach, on the esplanade for a bit of a casual walk. But that happened to be in full view of Celeste being his sister and partner, Jack. It's fair to say something of this enormity didn't take any more than a quick flick and a text to Renee and myself with a photo and a caption, OMG, who is Mo with? Mo denied all and played the cool card until over a birthday lunch, Renee hit him up about this new lady friend, which he continued to deny until she showed him the photo. And of course, the tables quickly turned. He scrambled to find out how quickly and actually how we got this picture. This new exposure led us to being the first of the family members to be trusted to meet this said friend. And if it wasn't for our timing this time, it would have had to make other arrangements. So back to this drinking story, Naomi. Both Renee and myself had been asked to pick up his car and then take them back home from a day of drinking down at Port Adelaide. Neither of them were in a fit state to do so. We were sworn to secrecy because it was still in the early days where they were getting to know one another. I raced around to the driver's seat of Matthias's car with the two gin-filled kids in the back seat, so I could be the one to ask her all the questions that Mo would never divulge. Well, I don't think I really even got to open my mouth. I said hello to Naomi, and that was about it from me. And we know where she got that from, don't we, people? Naomi had quite an entire car ride worth of conversation to be had. She got home and her head hit the pillow like Mo had warned. My gosh, she did talk. This was just the start of what has been a beautiful time in getting to know you, Naomi. Naomi, we can honestly say you guys fit together to a T. You bring the best out of each other. You both have the hearts for others. You have a joint love for travel and you have fun and respect and love each other. You have slotted very well into our crazy family of ours. You see, you can't rush into these important times in your life. A lot of time and research needs to go into finding that one person that can tick every box off your list. Annoying, and as long as Matthias can take to make a decision, we're glad he took the time to find you. Kidding. We could even say that it was God's timing too that took a part in it. And we pray the life that you build together from now on is one built of love, trust, and wonderful moments shared with each other and those around you. So just to finish up, I'll have a little quote to share with you. They say you don't marry the person you can live with. You marry the person that you can't live without. So with that being said, can I ask you all to raise your glasses to the newlyweds, to Naomi and Matthias.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the best man, Matt. And now it is time to hear from the man of the evening. He has not stopped grinning all day. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a huge warm welcome for Matthias.
I've got a few essays to go after there. Far out. I have to double space and I barely make a page. Hello. First off, on behalf of the wife and I'd like to say it's better than the other thing I could have called you. I'd like to thank you all for coming along today, sharing kind words and gifts with us, and getting us started as Mr. and Mrs. Hip-Off. Yes, welcome to the Hufflepuffs. We feel very loved that so many of you were able to come, and for those that were able to make this special interstate trips. Thank you for those that were able to help out during the day and leading up to it. It's definitely helped run it smooth as it did today. Max and Carol, thank you for the warm welcome into your family circle. I've never actually seen parents hand off the responsibility of one of their own kids so fast, nor have them married off within the first 2 weeks of dating. To my mum and dad, thank you for your continued love and support. Everything I've grown into is due to what you have shown and taught me over the years and has turned me into the man I am today. Bridesmaids, you are all looking beautiful. You've been a great support for Naomi over the years and the lead up to today, and despite what you collectively know about me by now, you still let her walk down that aisle. So on that note, I'd like to raise our glasses to the bridesmaids. Groomsmen, You know you've all played your parts. You have tormented me, helped me over the years, and the words of advice when I've sung out for you have always been more than willing to provide, even sometimes without, when I don't want it, because it's not on my spreadsheet. Thank you for being that support leg up there today with me while I move on to the next chapter in my life with beautiful Naomi, which brings me to the new wife, my gorgeous bride. Who would have thought this geek would finally find his beauty? And that she would say yes and choose me to be the one. You swiped your way into my heart, and I'm forever thankful that we happen to be in the right place at the right time. My annoyances you look past, and I can see you secretly love my quirks and the way I serenade you with my made-up song lyrics. As much as you try not to show it, you can never hide those flared nostrils behind that cheeky grin. I can't wait to continue our journey and start the new adventure together as husband and wife. So as a final toast, I'd like you all to raise your glasses to the love of my life, Naomi.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause, please, for our groom. While you're still standing, what I'll get you to do is just stand up and we'll do one more toast. I hope everyone's still got a glass full because we've done a few now. I think we should toast to the reason we're here, right? Ladies and gentlemen, to Tinder. Bumble. Okay, Bumble. Sorry. To Bumble. Thank you very much for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the formalities. We're going to kick off the dance floor very, very soon. But please stay in your places because what we're going to do now is Matt and Naomi are going to run around from table to table and they want to get a group shot with everyone at the table.